Donald Trump. Trump previously said, well, candidates who skip debates are cowards. Remember that? All right, let's go to it.
And, you know, some of them don't have the courage to do it. I don't want to say who, but there are a couple
we know who they are.
I mean, there are a couple of them that called me and told me, Donald, I'm just too nervous to do it. And I'm saying to myself, here's a guy that's supposed to negotiate, or a person that's supposed to negotiate against China. These guys come out of the womb, they never cry. You know, they're not even crying, and we have guys that are afraid to go into a debate.
We're not seeing a lot of courage here, are we?
Not so far.
Not lots of courage. You know, these Republicans, they're supposed to be brave.
So we actually put this question of this audio to both campaigns. And here is what the Trump campaign told us, the senior advisor. They said President Trump has already won 2 debates this election cycle, and he's proven he is the best negotiator on the world stage. We put that question to the Harris campaign as well. They had a somewhat different answer, saying you don't hear it from us very often, but he was right back then. If you're too weak to share a debate stage with your opponent, you are too weak to lead the country.
Damn. All right, let's put it a full mass. Donald Trump, his own words, indict himself once again. According to the former president, who backed out of a second debate against VP Kamala Harris, presidential candidates who won't debate lack the, quote, courage needed to be president of the United States. That's what he said. CNN's KFile senior editor uncovered comments made by Trump on the record from 2011 when he attempted to host a debate for Republican candidates running in the 2012 election. When they all turned him down, Trump appeared on Imus in the morning and on Fox News and said candidates, quote, don't have the courage to do it. He also told Fox News at the time, quote, not lots of courage, these Republicans. They're supposed to be brave. Donald Trump has long claimed no one has ever been more physically and mentally equipped to be president than him. In particular, Trump, who is now damn near 80 years old, has bragged about his stamina, how he has it, and how his opponents don't. And one example from just a few days ago, he wrote that Kamala Harris needs to pass a test of cognitive stamina and agility because her actions have led many to believe that there could be something very wrong with her. Trump, it won't work with Harris. It'll work with Biden, but it won't work with Harris, not that line. But here's the thing. I would challenge Trump to just, can you do a jogging contest against Harris? I just want to see how long y'all can jog together. And then we can test agility, stamina, and you don't even have to debate. We'll just see who can jog the longest. Does that make it simple enough, right? All right. So Trump, however, whose public appearances have been increasingly incoherent as the race intensified in the home stretch before the election day, the former president also canceled several interviews and public appearances, including a CNBC interview, an NBC interview in Philadelphia, a speaking slot at an NRA event in Georgia, and most notably, a high-profile interview with 60 Minutes. Trump has also refused to debate Harris a second time after getting clobbered by the vice president in September. The only person that thinks he won that debate was him, even his own cronies on his social media profile. They were saying, what the hell are you doing? Why are you doing this? You're blowing it, Donald. They were saying this on Truth Social. Politico reported on Friday that Trump's team told the Shade Room, a podcast popular with young Black listeners, that the campaign had been talking to for weeks about setting up an interview before backing out, that Trump was, quote, exhausted and refusing some interviews, but that could change. Politico adds that the campaign offered up Trump-loving rapper Waka Flocka Flame as a replacement. You see, it's that kind of thinking right there. Now, I love Waka. I actually know Waka. I know his mom. And
of course you do.
Right. That's just not going to be the move right there. All right. We don't have Donald Trump, but we got Waka Flocka Flame. What?
Careful.
I know.
It's hard.
So
I need that as like some sort of text message tone. Just the doc saying "Waka Flocka Flame."
The fact that they believed this was a fitting pivot for the conversation just tells you exactly where their mind is at as it relates to Black voters. Trump is indeed still doing interviews and maintaining a busy schedule, but he's showing signs of mental wear and tear that aren't evident in Harris. He routinely gives meandering, unrelated responses to questions about his plans for the nation, while frequently flubbering his words and getting basic facts wrong. Earlier this week, he told reporters to make sure to get out and vote in January.
No.
Yeah. At a town hall event in Pennsylvania, Trump only answered a few questions before opting to play music videos to the crowd and swayed outside for nearly an hour. Let's not do any more questions, Trump said. Let's just listen to music. And they just started swaying back and forth. It was probably the most cultic moment of his entire, presidential bid here. All right, Francesca, he has the most stamina of any human being that God has ever made on the planet.
Yeah. And yet he is backing out of every single interview. Right. And, and like the only ones he will do are ones that are like, again, his own town halls that are stuffed with his own supporters because he can't answer an honest question. I'm surprised he even did Univision this week. That was a big swing and a miss, obviously, as we saw. But look, Donald Trump needs to stop doing politics and just ride out to his favorite playlist. Like he's that's what it's time for, bud. You're 78. You got a lot of cases on you. You got to deal with those. Just ride out to your playlist, chill, whatever. You don't need this. And he said it multiple times. I don't really want to be running. I don't need this. I could have had a good life. And he's telling you how he feels. And so, they're going to spin it as they have a master alternative media strategy. We know that's BS. 60 Minutes, say what you will, has far and away one of the biggest platforms and audience. This is prime time. Many people will watch it. And he decided not to do it because his fifis got hurt from last time because he couldn't handle tough questions.
That's right.
So he goes on to bro podcasts that won't ask him anything, that just kind of chuckle with him and laugh and make fun of Harris, and that's it. And he couldn't even do like a non-political podcast. Why? Because it was probably hosted by Black people, aimed at the Black community. And he was like, oh, that sounds hard, just by virtue of the fact that they're Black. So, I mean, he's calling it in. He's saying January, Doc, because he's already focused on the second insurrection.
There you go. That's it. That's what he was referring to. You thought he was referring to the election. He's referring to the second insurrection. That's exactly what was on his mind.